visors down, let's go. We're jumping for joy to be back on the road. In this video, we cross off another track for Dirt Diaries. We run into a previous favourite spot, and of course there's time to reminisce over footage we shot here 25 years ago. So sit back as I take you on another Speedway adventure to see how the locals do it. Welcome back to Dirt Diaries. Yep, you heard the intro, we're off in the car for another mission. In this one, we're travelling 4 hours up the South Island to Eastern States Speedway, just outside of Blenheim. But before we start, let me bring you up to speed. It's Saturday morning, we've packed the car and we're heading up to Blenheim. Qualifying night was last night, but I was working, so today we're going to race up with the whole family for a night of finals. I'm excited. All packed up and we're away. Didn't take long to hit roadworks, but how can you be upset when the sun is out? Another 20 minutes down the road and we've been stopped again. But hey, no pothole complaints here. These blokes are putting in an absolute Saturday shift fixing things up. Up and over the hill to Kaikoura, time to stretch the legs. And what a spot to do it, a pod of dolphins just offshore, and talk about putting on a show. Back in the car and I need to see a show of hands. When you go through a tunnel, are you holding your breath the whole way or are you tooting the horn? Or maybe both? Yeah, sorry, we're those people. Stopping for lunch with a view, and in hindsight, loaded wedges might have been an odd choice over seafood. Finally some signage for today's location, and as for Wellington, yep, one day I'll get back to the North Island for a video, but for now, you're stuck with me showing you how amazing things are in the South Island. Again, how can you be upset when the sun is out and you got these guys to watch? Come for a quick stop on the way up to Blenheim. We stopped at the Salt Works, which you can see all behind me. Chance to refuel with some Lando Norris energy drink. We'll see how this goes. Oh, not amazing. He might be a race winner, but I don't think his drink is. Enough slagging off an F1 world champion. I've made it to Blenheim. First glimpse of track lights and it's time to get excited. And if you're quick enough, you'll catch a glimpse of today's cars alongside us there in the pits. Didn't realise Soda Pop was going to be here, now I'm definitely fizzing. And as we pass Steve and Emily here, who are definitely doing a winery cycling tour, we chuck a left into tonight's venue. Back on the foot, through a grassy car park, and we're at the gate. Tonight's ticket set me back $25. Walking inside, you'll pop out on the back straight. You've got the pit stop shop right there, as well as some food options. Tonight's finalists were looking an absolute picture, parked up there on the infield. So just who are the 24 in there? Well, let's take a look at them. Last weekend in Christchurch, Harley, Rob and Riley Ethorn secured some New Zealand numbers. They've backed it right up by qualifying for finals night. It's certainly a competitive looking field. Into the pits we see some cars in tonight's Repocharge, as well as the Superstocks who are here. Loving the livery on 88N, but you know what I love more? Yep, soft toys strapped to cars, 95N rocking this friendly looking guy. And this was a pleasant surprise, we hit up Soda Pop at Nelson Speedway, so it was great to run into them again here. That's one cherry bomb to hit the spot. We're finally starting to see some action on track, tonight's Grand Prix finalists making their way out to do the grid draw. Riley Ethorn's new 3NZ is looking a lot brighter than last week, and one of our lads is showing his support for 74C tonight. Looks a bit different, and if we wind it back, yep, that's Tyler Houghton borrowing his cousin Dylan Rob's 191T car this weekend. And speaking of the Robs, there's Harley and the new 2NZ. We've made it to Eastern States Speedway. We've sat down on the front straight. Cars are just coming out now for the Repocharge, first one of the night. Before we start racing, we should go through some numbers. So there's 30 cars going to be in the final. We've got 24 so far, including 10 North Island cars are already in there. So we might see some action like last week. We'll get some blocking in the finals and get a real north versus south divide. Cars all lined up. It's time to run for your seat. This track is the second biggest in the country behind Bay Park, but even with all that room, you can still get yourself a first corner pile-up. "13C Will Pilcher, a finalist in last week's New Zealand Champs, racing away in front. And 13C would lead from start to finish to take the flag and book a spot in the finals. Jumping in from the future here just to say, originally there was going to be 2 rapid charge races in the program, but I guess we didn't have enough cars for that, so what they ended up doing was 6 cars from this one and only heat got through into the finals. So at the time I didn't realise, but here's your 6 finalists who made it through. Go easy on me if I'm lacking shots, I had my hands full with our youngest getting his wish of coming along trackside. A decent field of 16 Superstocks were here, thought this was a cool spot seeing them roll out. Gotta love that roar of the Superstocks. Shane Harwood in the former 3NZ car racing away off the front row. How satisfying is this, synchronised spinning on turn 3 and 4. And hey, the youngest is picking it up pretty quickly. Always clap for your race winners. It's amazing to see these videos reaching more and more people, but can I say, if you enjoy them, please do subscribe, it really does help. On to the first heat of the Grand Prix, and we've got 2NZ gridded up right in front of us. But just watch, it seems like a few of them didn't get the radio message or see the light change. Yeah, that's a few confused hand signals, right? Let's grid up and try again. All pretty much through the first corner, but speaking of that north versus south divide, here's both yellow Huntley cars getting taken out. Looks like the spinning of 97H ended up taking out both the Cheatham cars. '77C Robbie Edgeworth is smoking away, but speaking of being on fire, 3NZ is looking rapid out there, and they end up winning the first heat. While Riley Ethorn was busy parading the flag, I didn't notice that 74C was getting a bit warm. The fire team was on hand to help cool off the car, but yeah, that's not a great sign, is it? As the production saloons come around for their race, let's play another game of What's Over the Back Fence. You can tell you're in Melbourne when you see grapevines. A range of historic stock cars were here to entertain. And then it was time to stretch the legs and see what the view was like from turn 3 and 4. The stock car team's champs might be next week, but how's this for some blocking by 91C? Yep, whatever works. If you squint hard enough into the sun, you can see the RC club next door. The moon is out and it's getting darker earlier now that we're leaving summer behind. But hey, that's enough looking at the sky, let's enjoy heat number 2. When it comes to watching title nights, are you someone who watches the race leaders or tries to watch the contenders? Let me know. I had my eye on 3NZ who was looking to rack up more points. And while he was certainly moving up the field, there was one car out there who looked even quicker. Harley Robb had the car humming and was soon into the lead. And that was a win for another NZ numbered car. Things are starting to get juicy. That win puts the 2NZ on top of the leaderboard, tied on points with 82p Royden Winstanley. If you ever need a confirmation about last week's results being pretty accurate, through 2 heats tonight, New Zealand Stockcar Grand Prix, Riley Ethorn 3NZ's won a heat and 2NZ Harley Robb won the next heat. But before you ask, no, there's not going to be a theme because 1NZ Caleb Island, he's not here this weekend. Superstocks are out for another heat and it had me reminiscing. As we watch Shane Harwood come round with the flag, I can tell you a little fun fact for you. The very first time I came to Blenheim Speedway was in the 99-2000 season for the New Zealand Superstock champs, and Craig Booth won that year. It was defending 1NZ champ, went back to back. Let's dip into the family videos, shall we? Here we are at Eastern State Speedway. Does it look any different? This was actually the last time it held the New Zealand Superstock title. As I mentioned, Craig Booth, he would defend his 1NZ title. 58R Joe Farram would take second, while 515 Stan Hickey and the silver bullet of 5W Tony McClenaghan would split the 3NZ. Growing up as a regular at Paradise Valley, Rodney Wood was my favourite, and honourable shout out to Wayne Hemming and the Red Walker. Right, better stop myself there from looking back because it's time to watch the future generation. The mini stocks really do fly around this track. Time to grid up for the final heat of the Grand Prix. Both New Zealand cars were in contention, and here's how the points were looking at this stage. Harley Robb is a previous winner of the Grand Prix, winning it in the 2019-2020 season at Woodford Glen. Could he win again? There's more than enough to keep your eye on in this one. There wasn't a first corner shunt, but watch what drama unfolds in this first lap. Bit of a pile-up, and that's your points leader Harley Robb stuck in there. Half a lap and he's already an age behind. Meanwhile, local car Charlie Boone was out front in the 66E, but I was struggling to find 3NZ. Yep, maybe you guessed it, that's him parked up on the infield. His night's done and his Grand Prix hopes are over with that DNF. I wasn't sure where to look now, and speaking of throwbacks earlier, I was certainly missing the 90s radio. A rookie mistake leaving this one behind, as hearing some commentary certainly would have helped. We knew 2NZ and 82P were locked on points, so this was a big hit from Robb, laying a shot and spinning Winstanley around. Harley Robb had jumped back up the order as he finished the race, but was it enough? One thing that was for sure, 66E had smashed it, racing home to win Heat 3. And as the cars headed back to the pits, the results started to trickle out. Much to my surprise, Tyler Houghton had done it, Callum Flavel and Harley Robb rounding out the podium. The car was on fire earlier, but it turns out it was the driver who was red hot. The 20-year-old adjusted quickly in the borrowed car to win the Grand Prix. As the wounded were dragged back to the trailers, it was time for us to pack up the family and head for the exits as well. If you've made it this far, please give the video a thumbs up. That's 7 different tracks in the books, so be sure to check out any you may have missed. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon for more trackside adventures.